Hello there, Internet. Mogwai here, and I got another video for you guys today. Today we're going to go a little bit try hard yet again, as it is February 28th, the last day of the month and the last day of this MTG Arena season, and the last day to qualify for the Mythic Invitational. In order to qualify for the Mythic Invitational, you need to place in the top 8 of the ranked Mythic MTG Arena ladder, in which we are currently position number 215. Was 214 literally a second ago, but decay is happening at quite the unreal pace today, and honestly, like, not surprised by it. The ladder is very active as of now because people be trying to qualify, and I am not alone in that sense. I was 169 yesterday when I stopped streaming. I haven't played a game since, and I've dropped over math 46 slots. I've dropped 46 slots, which is quite a lot. Not like the ladder generally is not this active. Like, you don't drop that quickly normally, but because it's the last day, it's going to be quite the bloodbath to get to that top 8 slot. So basically, how did I get to this position? Because I dropped all the way to around 94% mythic, so I wasn't even fully a mythic player. I wasn't at the top of the top 1000, and I went from that all the way to 169. I had an insane win streak with this deck right here. It is Peter Sultai. I'm just gonna pronounce that Peter because I don't know, I'm not that good with Polish, but he's a Polish MPL player who competed in the Mythic Championship and plays extremely well. Did not make top 8, but did not do so because of the limited portion of the event, right? Like, when it comes to standard, his deck did extremely well, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Yes, it's Sultai Midrange. I know you guys are tired of seeing this sort of deck, but you got to understand that I am trying to qualify. I am tryharding, and even though I do have a lot of deck building ideas and decks that I feel are underrated for standard, at the same time, I can't, ignore the facts. And the facts is that Sultai is the best mid-range deck in the game because it has the best tools in the game. But it is also not completely understood, in my opinion, and I really love Peter's approach at it. Why? Because, as you can see, he's not running the Explore package. I've been saying for a while that I think the Explore package, while it does kind of win you some games if you get a Wall Growth Walker and you buff him up and you don't really have answers yourselves, I think outside of a mono red heavy meta, which we currently are not in, I do believe the Explore package in general is severely overrated. I think Wall Growth Walker is a very overrated card, and I think Merfolk Range Walker is alright, but not at the level of the likes of Incubation Druid. I really like the fact that this deck takes out the Wall Growth Walker and the Merfolk Branch Walker and instead goes for 4 copies of Incubation Druid and 3 copies of Thought Erasure. Thought Erasure is one of my one of my favorite and best cards in Magic the Gathering. I rarely build decks without Thought Erasure. Like, I'm known for playing this card in every deck that I build because Dimir is my favorite dual color combination, and Thought Erasure, like I said, one of my favorite cards to play in competitive Magic. And I love this approach at Sultai Midrange. It uses not only this, but Thief of Sanity as a major threat, because Thief of Sanity can be absolutely devastating in the mirror, as if it goes unanswered, Sultai Midrange does not really have ways to block flyers initially, and it can single-handedly win you the game. Thief of Sanity is perhaps one of the most powerful and not the most threatening card to leave unchecked in the early game. And the fact that we can potentially play him on turn 2, if we get a green shock land, a blue source of mana, and a land of our elf, that can just straight up, make your opponent cry, which is a good thing if you're trying to win games, I guess. So this variant of Sultai Midrange is very interesting for that. It ignores the Explore, and the Explore package does provide quite a few good things for the archetype, mainly not talking about the Wall Growth Walker. Wall Growth Walker, like I said, I think it's not really that good. It's a good card, but it's not nearly as good as people think it is. The reason why I still think the Explore package is good for Sultai Midrange is because of the fact that you draw a lot of lands with it. It fixes your land base. It enables you to draw your lands, and that is a very, very powerful effect. Explore is really good in that sense, especially when you're going Sultai. With the Explore package, you have, a better time just drawing through your lands and building up and curving out properly, right? This deck, because we only run one off of J-Light Ranger, which we run because of that, because of the Explore effect and the ability to fish for lands, because we don't have, the Merfolk Planeswalker and only have one copy of J-Light Ranger, sometimes we will get more mana screwed, more often so than if we were running the Explore package. But, to counter that, we have a shitload of ramp. We have 4 Land of our Elves and 4 Incubation Druids, which can enable us to play the likes of Vivian Reed really early on in the match, and can also enable us to play bigger Hydroid Kraxes than our opponent. And a lot of times the mirror match does come down to who plays the bigger Sneck, and who to find more Snecks. As simple as that. So this variant has that and Thought Erasure, because the best way to counter Hydroid Kraxes is discarding it, not letting them play it. So Thought Erasure is a great answer for the mirror, but also really good card in pretty much every single matchup. It's good against mono blue as you take out the counter spells or their most key cards. It's good against Simic Nexus for obvious reasons. You take out their Wilderness Reclamation or their Search for Scanta if you're on the play, and it just disrupts your opponent, and it's a card that I love, right? We have on top of that 3 copies of Hostage Takers, 1 copy of Frilled Mystic. This one-off does a lot because it's a counter spell that we can search with Vivian, and that is incredibly powerful. It's also a counter spell that you can return to your hand from the graveyard with Find as well, which is also a very, very potent interaction. I made the mistake of running multiple copies of Frilled Mystic in the past, when in reality, all you truly need, except, for more control matchups, is a one-off of it. Because you want to play this card in the late game. And like I said, the fact that you can find it with Vivian is so damn strong. It's especially when, the game has progressed to a certain state. And that is the deck list right there. We have one off of Vraska Relic Seeker, and it seems like a little bit random, like with the one off of Assassin's Trophy and 3 copies of Thought Erasure instead of 4, like the one off of J-Light Ranger, like a lot of, there's a lot of one-offs, 3-ofs and stuff, but the more I play this deck list, the more I understand why the distributions are the way they are. Like, this is very meticulously crafted, and definitely the work of a very good, knowledgeable Magic the Gathering player, because every single card in this main lineup makes so much sense, and it did so much more when I had an insane win streak with this in ranked, climbing all the way to the high end of Mythic. In the sideboard, we have 2 Dresses, 1 Disdainful Stroke, 2 Negates, 2 Moment of Cravings, 4 Craw Harpooners, 2 Thrashing Brontodons, 1 Frilled Mystic, and 1 Vraska Relic Seeker. So this is mainly it's a very flexible sideboard that can really adapt well to different matchups. Crawl Harpooner is not only amazing against mono blue tempo, which is everywhere, but it's also really good, for example, when you're facing the likes of Esper Control. You can take out some of your ramp for the Crawl Harpooners, and when they sideboard in their Thieves of Sanities, all of a sudden you have 2 drops that also happen to counter Thief of Sanity. So really, really strong in this current metagame. Just a very good solid 2-drop that you can make an argument for running in your main deck, honestly. Just very, very good as of right now. We have 2 Moment of Cravings for the aggressive matchups, 1 Disdainful Stroke and 2 Negates, alongside 2 Dress for the control matchups, 2 Thrashing Brontodons, which is good versus aggro, and also good versus Simic Nexus, as we can destroy the Wilderness Reclamation with it. So very flexible. Like, Thrashing Brontodon is also really good now, because against mono white weenies, that 4 health, that 3-4 stat line for 3 mana is very strong. It trades with everything, pretty much, especially against mono red, and it's really, really solid because of that. 1 extra Frilled Mystic for the Nexus matchups mainly, and also control ones, and a 1-off of Vraska Relic Seeker, which is the only card that I'm rather dubious about in this sideboard. Maybe I would have a Carnage Tyrant in here, but also can, be very strong in control matchups and such, as it is a very powerful Planeswalker that also happens to play around Eldest Reborn. It's like the one Planeswalker that can immediately play around Eldest Reborn, which is very important, because you can go for the +2, create a pirate, and all of a sudden Eldest Reborn is disrupted, and not a good answer to it, which is, I think, is very, very prevalent against the likes of Esper Control, for example. And that is the deck list right there. I went on quite the rant or ramble with it, but this is a very competitive deck that is my own personal choice for this last final push. And I will be streaming with it today and trying to continue my run to top 8. And no matter what happens, I'm going to be completely honest with you, the odds of me qualifying for the Mythic Invitational are not that high. I have been having good win streaks, but I have never actually made it to the top 8. So it has to be today if I make it there. And even if I do make it there, I could just, be pushed out by decay. Like if I don't continue playing until the very end of the season, because there's so many people playing in the ladder, even if I do make it to like number 3, I could just be pushed out of there if enough players do make it after me, right? So I'm not sure if I'm, gonna push myself that hard, because regardless of what happens, I can't wait to just go back tomorrow to my old jankiness and provide you guys with actual, interesting, unique, original deck lists that may not be perhaps as tier 1 as this. But I also miss that creative aspect, even though I have enjoyed this journey towards competitive Magic a lot. I really want to dive more into competitive Magic, and I want to qualify. I don't know how I'll do it, but I will do whatever it takes to qualify, at least for the Mythic Championship that will occur in my country, because there will be, one of them will be in my country, will be in Barcelona, in Spain, and I definitely have to attend that one. So I really want to dive into this world and be competitive and perform, and even if I have to play tier 1 decks, I don't care. Like, I actually do enjoy this. I know some people don't like these top tier decks, but I love standard. I am a competitive person, and I enjoy even the most standard decks and tweakings and stuff. Like, I really enjoy the intricacies of deck building and optimization of builds like this that have been so discovered up until this point. Like, it's still intriguing to me. And I definitely won't stop, but I also have a channel, and I'm mainly a content creator, and I also love, jankness and meme decks and just trying all sorts of different color combinations, and I won't stop doing that. I'll definitely return to that, like, after today, basically. So tomorrow onwards, you can expect different deck lists and me not going or becoming a slave of the meta, if you will. And that's all I gotta say. This has been, like, the longest intro that I've done, but I felt it was, I don't know. I've been talking for like 12 minutes. Thank you guys for watching. Have a solid day. Hope you enjoy the gameplay. I got some really good quality matches for you guys today. And I'll be back at it tomorrow with more. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more daily MTG content. And I'll see you guys around. All right. We're on our way, folks. Let's mulligan this naturally. Well, we're on the receiving end of it ourselves. No giant jellyfish monster for us just yet. I'm gonna go to the Wild Growth Walker. Yeah, he's smart. He keeps that there. I didn't want to, like, take the trade right there. gonna play the Hydroid Crassus first. Okay. No, I should have played. I made a mistake. Oh. I do keep the cast out enabled this turn, so I guess.
The wilds are my shield.
Should I play the? I'm gonna play the incubation. You could have. The Eldest Reborn. So I'm playing around it this way.
Come to me.
Okay, those were some crazy draws that we just missed out on. Thank you, Vivian. For nothing! Okay, so... we got him. Alright, now we're going... now we're going second. So... again, let's think about things here. You. Not you. You. We can tone it down on the Thief of Sanities for this game, because our opponent's definitely going to be packing answers for them, so we don't want to draw like a shitload of them. I mean, they can still win us the game, so we're still going to keep a couple of them, but we're going to take out 2 of them. I'm also pretty keen on taking out a Frilled Mystic, since I am going second this game and playing... I mean, it's always good to have as a one-off, though. But I gotta tone it down on the counter spells now that I'm going first. Sorry, second. I still do like Vraska Relic Seeker, but do I like her in this matchup? I mean, Incubation Druids are just pretty damn good. I do like Vraska as a one-off, though. Like, I like being able to threaten my opponent. God, this is tough. Take out the Assassin's Trophy. Ah, fuck it. Let's do it like this. Honestly, sideboarding for the mirror is tough because I do want the duress. I do want the negates. I definitely want the duress and the negates, but I don't know. I think Vraska is overdoing it. Okay, I'll keep this hand because I have double Thought Erasure.
Here comes the DJ. Here comes the DJ.
I mean, he has to have a land and Vivian in the same hand, and the odds of that are actually quite low. So I'm gonna play around it. All right. Oh man, that's my opening.
place apart.
Oh shit.
No one knows the wilds like I do.
He can't play that and play Hostage Taker the same
I've
turn.
lost so much already. I won't lose more. Balance comes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we need lands? At this point, I'll take a land.
Okay, so you've got claws. The wilds are my shield.
There we go. Top 200, boys. Top 200. Attaboy. Dude, we're on a crazy streak with this deck. Dude, how many wins is that in a row? Alright, Thought Erasure into Thief of Sanity. That's pretty key. He already has more than enough lands. right. We're gonna play History of Benalia here. Oh! No, never mind. I thought he stole my thing. I was like, what the fuck just happened? I should have tagged with this too. I mean, at least I know he only has one of these more potentially, so. Okay, so that's 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Did I miss lethal? No, right? Because you could still block these two. No, I did not miss lethal. No, because I want to set up another March of the Multitudes is why I'm doing this. Okay, so we have a total of 3, 1, 2, 5, 12, 16. Alright, let's add in the Thrashing Brontodon, 1 Cry of the Carnarium, Moment of Craving. I also do like a couple of negates. Maybe the negates are unnecessary. Fine Finality is important. Cry of the Carnarium is important. Chilat Ranger can be good. I mean, Thief of Sanity was one of the reasons we won that game, right? But he's also kind of slow in this matchup, so I'm going to reduce him a little bit. I think Vraska's a little bit too slow. Vivian's fine, but toned down a little bit. I need a bit of speed here. Honestly, maybe like this. It's no bueno. We have no green source of mana. We got a mulligan. Gotta avoid it again. That's what I have to do. We're in a bit of trouble now. We're getting hit really hard here. The only way we don't lose this game is if we top deck a Cry of the Carnarium here. Now, not even that saves us. Alright, on to game 3. Okay, let's think about our sideboarding a little bit better. What am I missing here? I mean, now that I'm going first, I do like the Thief of Sanity. I only have one Cry of the Carnarium is a problem. I need all the ramp I can get so I can ramp it to finality potentially. Thief of Sanity won me the game last time though, and this time I'm going first. But I need Brontodons, and instead, like, 2 Thief of Sanity is fine. I can't overdraw with them. Like, this just seems fine, honestly. Duress is a consideration. What would I take out for it, though? Ross's Contempt is not that good. Let's go with this. I actually like the 2 Duresses because now I'm going first and taking out their Benalias. There's a lot of, they have a lot of spells, like a lot of non-creature spells that really provide them the extra push. All right, we're gonna take this, even though we don't have a source of blue mana for Thought Erasure. It's a good enough hand. We have ramp. And as long as we draw into a blue source of mana, like, we're pretty good. I mean, we're pretty okay. Things get scary nonetheless, but we do have the 2 black sources of mana. Alright. Okay. I need a blue mana here. Fuck. Come on, man. I have 3 lands in my opening hand. Not like this. Oh, there you are. I'm gonna take a bit more damage. I'm gonna preserve this moment of craving. As a 3/3, I can block. All right. I could moment of craving this, but that gives him a blocker for my Thief of Sanity. The question is, do I want a Thought Eraser to Surveil? And I think that the answer is yes. He's basically top decking, but what's my safest route here? This is going to cost 5 mana to cast because of this. That's the kind of card I want to see. Oh shit, you've got to be kidding me. I want to preserve the Frilled Mystic for a counter spell here. Oh boy.
The wild wasn't meant to be contained. Draw and fire. I've seen things that would break someone like you.
Oh! Holy shit! We did it, boys. Oh my god.